You didn't ask for me, but I'm back. Settle in for another negative opinion. I love Disney. I also love musical theater. So it goes without saying that I love the Broadway Disney musicals. Most of them. Some I like tearing apart. In fact, I don't really see the point for all these mediocre live-action reboots when we have the musicals, which are basically the same thing except with good singing. Now, if you're not familiar, the musicals that went to Broadway for Disney were The Lion King, The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Tarzan, Frozen, and Aladdin. Hercules got an off-Broadway production recently. I know nothing about it, and Tarzan was never really that popular or relevant. So we're just focusing on the other ones. My personal ranking of them is The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, Frozen, and at the very bottom, Aladdin. I actually plan on making at least a video on The Little Mermaid, if not others, but for now we're focusing on what I consider to be the ugly stepchild of the Renaissance musicals. Some people think I am too hard on it, but I plan to explain myself, so buckle up. Aladdin opened on Broadway March 20th, 2014, and barely closed recently, August 24th, 2019. For legal reasons, I am going to say that I went to see it live, and definitely not on YouTube. So let's start with the small stuff. The Cosmetic Choices. For the most part, I love these. The set is beautiful. It feels like the original. The cast is great, and almost all of the costumes are great. I love the fact that instead of trying to recreate the genie from the original, which would be weird because, cartoon, they make James Monroe Iglehart into this mythical being with a royal velvet look and gold makeup. Even good old Al, who is an actual homeless person, has a bedazzled vest because you need to be able to see him from far away. Jasmine, however, got done dirty. The absolute dirtiest. I think even in the animated movie, she might have been showing a little too much skin for Arab royalty. But with a staged version, the designer has the benefit of hindsight. We live in a more sensitive and educated world now, right? So Greg, that's right, I'm talking to you, Greg, decides to put Jasmine, strong, independent lady who wants to be respected by her people, in this. What is this? She has leg slits, Greg. Leg slits. All the way down the side of her pants. The ladies in waiting type characters have more coverage than she does, Greg. She even has some cleavage in her marketplace outfit, which I don't think fits when she's supposed to be blending in. And don't get me wrong, Aladdin is often shirtless and has his own man cleavage when he's the prince. But I guess it's just that because she's the only main female character, this costume has less room for error. It looks tacky, Greg. She's a princess. To be honest, I think the Disney Park show at California Adventure did this way better. There, Jasmine's colors were a little darker, it was a little simpler, and they didn't give her more cleavage than she had in the original, because she still has to be recognizable. And there aren't any leg slits. Okay, I'm sorry, we need to move on, or we're gonna be here all day. Let's go to the songs. The backbone of a stage show. There are 19, which is pretty normal, but it feels like there are a million when I listen to it. Let's go over them in order. Okay, 1. Arabian Nights. It's twice as long as the original, which I think is pushing it, but we just started, and that means I can get hyped up. I'm ready. This is cool. One Jump Ahead. A classic. It's short but sweet. It's funny. We stan. Now, One Jump Ahead Reprise. This is our first moment to stop and take a breath and learn about our protagonist. It's very much needed. It's very much appreciated. Next up, Proud of Your Boy. I'm actually glad that they brought this song out of the shadows from where it was dropped from the original animated one, but I don't know why it comes right after One Jump Ahead Reprise. Like, we just got a slow, quiet look at our protagonist. We don't need another one that's right after. It's sort of saying the same thing, too. So I'm starting to feel a little sleepy now. Next one, These Palace Walls. Maybe the location of the song was unavoidable because, we gotta introduce the love interest quick. But you're putting me to sleep with these multiple solo ballads in a row. It's a good song, though. It makes the show pass the Bechdel test, at least. And it's a good starting point for Jasmine's character, most importantly. Now, Babcock Omar Aladdin Kazim. This one should have stayed dead on the cutting room floor where it was left of the animated version. Giving Aladdin not only a human friend that you have to dedicate time and music to is one thing. Giving him 3 was disaster. But we'll cover them later. The point is, don't need the song. A Million Miles Away. Giving the main couple a duet at this point feels natural. I like it. Next, A Diamond in the Rough. I don't understand how we got a 4-minute song sung by Jafar, the main villain, and not learn anything about why he wants to take over or what he'll do when he gets the lamp. This song is a plot point. It's not about anyone feeling anything, which seems like a missed opportunity to me. And yes, musicals are going to have plot point songs to fill time, but this isn't the only one. It also feels like they just wanted to call back to the original story because there the villain tried to trick Aladdin into helping get the lamp pretending to be his uncle, which is, again, unnecessary. Okay, Friend Like Me, the iconic. But, jeez, this song is 7.5 minutes long. 7.5. Maybe under different circumstances, I'd be able to say that a character like the genie deserves that much time, especially when he's played by such a beast of a performer. Aguilard is great. But because I just sat through 6 minutes of Arabian Nights, and then 3 minutes of the 3 dinguses, I'm kind of worn out. It feels like it's milking it. Okay, the Act 1 finale. Okay, we're milking Friend Like Me even more. Got it. Oh, and there's even more Proud of Your Boy in it. There's more to his character, Aladdin's character, than trying to feel like his mother should be proud of him. Like, since he's the main character, can we acknowledge, the self-esteem issues and anger at the world he would have if he felt the need to lie about his identity to the person he wants to marry? Just a thought. Anyway, moving on. Prince Ali, start of Act 1. Which feels natural for start of Act 1, but it's 6 more minutes of a flashy production number. Yeah, it was in the original. Okay, fine, sure. Next song, High Adventure. This is where the 3 what's-their-faces try to storm the palace and immediately fail, just so that Aladdin uses up one of his other wishes. Why are we still giving Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, whatever they are, music and time? It makes Act 2 feel super slow, and it feels like Aladdin is no longer the driving force behind the plot. That's what made the original so good, was that it was very protagonist-driven. Anyway, on to Somebody's Got Your Back. It's kind of Genie's song. And I don't hate the idea of giving Genie a song here, since he and Aladdin have become close. There's been development. But frankly, the song just isn't that great for me. It's not, I don't even remember it. And I kind of would have liked to hear these characters in a style that isn't big energy Broadway, for once. especially right before the big kind of ominous climax. Also, the 3 dillweeds are in it, so it's awful. Should die. Proud of your boy, Reprise. Honestly, this is a nice moment of Aladdin deciding to do the right thing. I think it's good. No complaints here. Prince Ali Sultan Reprise. So this is specifically the Sultan's reprise. Why does the Sultan get a song in Act 2 during the dramatic climax? Why do I care what he has to say? Why won't you let Jasmine sing on her own at any point? Anyway, Prince Ali, Jafar Reprise. An absolute banger, a classic. We love it. Except if there was ever a time to expand the song, it would be here. When you're supposed to have the time. But you didn't, and I don't know why. Whatever. And then there's the Genie medley, but that's a bonus track, so I can't criticize it. Even though I want to say that it's a little indulgent. Lizzie from the future here. I am so dumb that I didn't mention A Whole New World, literally the most iconic song. But to be fair, it doesn't really need to be mentioned. It's amazing. We all know it's amazing. It's great for the couple. It's catchy. It's beautiful. So just know, I do love the song. Don't come for me. Next is the finale ultimo. It's the arbitrary big ensemble ending with the wedding that you get in these Disney musicals. I was expecting it. I'm just glad it's over. Just to be clear, in order, it's big production number, small personal ballad, big production number, ballad, big production number, big production number, big production number, big production number, romantic duet, big production number, ballad, big production number, big villain number, big production number. It's paced bizarrely. You've got to have a better balance in tone, or else you're gonna feel exhausted. At least I did. That's just me. So let's talk about story a little bit. I swear, watching this show, I felt like I was running a marathon. First of all, I totally understand why they wouldn't include Abu, because you don't want to deal with a puppet. Although I don't completely understand why they didn't include the magic carpet as a character. In the Parks show, the carpet is just played by a mute acrobatic actor. Maybe this would have come off as childish, I don't know, but this show should obviously never have childish moments, seeing as it's based on a children's film. It's just that I literally forgot the carpet existed until it showed up in A Whole New World. Even though it has that significant role, it never comes back again. That's kind of just its little cameo. I don't know. Also, a little off topic, Iago is played by a person, and instead of just his voice being annoying, his voice and his lines are annoying to me. So, on to Jafar the Villain, the big baddie. Jonathan Freeman, who I think was the original voice for him too, performs it really well, but the writing makes him very one note for me. I mean, Scar in The Lion King on Broadway got a whole song about like his descent into madness. It's really cool. And this show, Jafar only gets 2 kind of short songs. Neither of them touch on the root of his desire. And I know that, like, he's your classic Disney villain who's kind of just evil and fun. But, like, I'm not saying that you have to be complicated. I'm just asking for you to be there. Like, okay, he wants power. Why? Does he really like money? Does he just have an ego? Like, does he feel like he lives in Sultan's shadow? Something? It's the same with Jasmine for me. I said before that Beyond These Palace Walls is a good starting point for her character, but that's the only glimpse into her head we ever get, and it's accompanied by 3 other people. I kind of would have liked to hear her point of view on things later on in the show. You know, when her kingdom's being taken over. But no, we just got more Babcock, Omar, Kazim. the Three Stooges. Every time they came on stage, I wanted them to go away. Their role at the beginning is unnecessary because Aladdin is meant to be kind of a hopeless outcast, loner guy. One of his lyrics is even, I could use a friend or two. You have three. You have three. I couldn't even tell you their names without looking at my notes. And I couldn't tell you any of their personality traits by any means. I think they are the reason that I actively dislike this musical instead of just not love it, you know? So maybe that's it. Maybe I just hate them. Wow. Oh, okay. I actually had more to say than I thought I did. But sometimes I think I'm being too hard on it. But then I think it had all the opportunity and skill to be better written. I love the original. The animated version paved the way. It was plenty popular, but I just, every time I listen to it or even think about listening to it, I don't feel excited or inspired like I did watching the original. I feel tired and empty. Obviously, I mean no serious ill will to the cast and crew. It's super hard to be in a musical. I've been in one, more than one, but it's even harder to be in an adaptation musical. So seriously, they did the best they could. Thank you so much for listening. If you stayed to the end of this crazy rant, if you wanna talk about it in the comments, go ahead. Just don't be mean to me or I'll cry.